I'm Hannah, and for my IMC ethics video, I am doing Uber as my company. Um, kind of to give a little background, Uber was founded in March 2009 in San Francisco, California, by Travis Kalanick and Garrett Camp. The revenue in 2018 was $11.3 billion. They have a number of subsidiaries, such as Uber Eats, Auto, Jump Bikes, etc. And despite the amount of revenue that they got in 2018, 2017 was actually a pretty rough year for Uber, just because there was one scandal coming out right after another. So currently they're having to work really hard to rebuild the value of the brand name. Choosing just one example for an ethical issue was really difficult for Uber because, like I said, 2017 in general was just a really rough year. Um, there were accounts of sexual assault, accusations, murders, questionable leadership of the CEOs, but all of this kind of falls under the umbrella of trying to escape the law. A specific example of that is that they use a software called Grayball in their apps in order to avoid regulators, in particular geographic regions where Uber was operating illegally. They didn't train their Uber drivers properly. They didn't compensate them correctly. Again, they kind of ignored these allocations of sexual assault and made no action under their previous CEO leadership. Um, and all of these kind of relate to the concepts that we learned in class of deception and morals and ethics. In terms of deception, Uber tried to deceive the law because they made regulators believe that they were following the rules and setting an example for the rest of the industry by using Grayball. But they also deceived their customers into thinking that they were the gold standard of their industry and that they actually were working hard to ensure customer safety and make sure that they were actually doing practices ethically and serving the right purpose when in fact they were not. These practices are a reflection of the poor morals of the CEO, and also the lack of ethical practices because of the lack of morals that was held in upper management. And it just kind of goes to show that Uber has low standards and would rather do what it takes to make money than rather be a high quality brand. The consequences of all of these actions were that they had to fire the CEO, Travis Kalanick, and replaced him with the CEO of then Expedia. They lost 10% of its market share to Lyft, going from 84% to 74%. And this is a pretty unique situation because it's one of the rare times that we see customers actually choosing alternatives to the previous brand. Granted, this is unique because there seems to be low switching costs, but still, you don't really see that in customer behavior too much. There was a delete Uber movement that was worldwide on all social media platforms protesting the brand. The company's value decreased from 68 billion to 48 billion, and they banned Uber from UK's capital. In terms of kind of avoiding this situation, but which seemed a little difficult, in order to restore trust, I think I would have just shut down operation of the brand completely immediately after all of these incidents broke out. And while I shut down the brand for an indefinite yet temporary period of time, I would use that time to retrain the staff, do more background checks on the drivers, but I would also have a press release that explained all of our immediate action right after all of the incidents happened. Um, I would have an apology from the CEOs or just, and then maybe just specifically from Travis Kalanick specifically, just kind of explaining that they were sorry and what they're doing to fix the situation and the immediate steps that are currently being taken. And I actually think I would have encouraged Travis Kalanick to resign instead of having him needing to be removed because this not only bodes well for him and his reputation, but it also shows that Uber does take pride in hiring quality employees rather than just kind of taking anybody who applies. It shows that Travis Kalanick actually values the brand and wants the best for consumers and is doing this to prove that Uber is a high quality brand rather than trying to stick around and stuff everything under the rug and just kind of making it seem like he actually is a bad person that has bad morals and likes to practice unethical business practices rather than just saying, hey, I messed up. This is best for the brand and I'm going to do this to help move forward. Just some concluding thoughts. Uber did try to escape the law, and the consequences were great. Both legal and consumer forces made them pay the price for their mistakes. But then again, it does seem like under their new leadership that they are taking continuous action to better their reputation and hopefully gain back the customers that they lost.